Yes, pleasant good night once again to all of you. I know in the first two videos, a lot of you might says, I am crazy. Listen what he's saying. Oh, he sung like a madman. This man must be stopped. Well, I want you to know, and I'm directing this to the Guyanese society in Guyana and the government of Guyana. In order to build a country, the nation must love the government and the government must work with the nation. And if you are black and you are the leader and you want to play racial politics in a country that got another race or maybe five other races, check the numbers of these people and you will realize you are the minority. And if you are an Indian and you think the same way, check the other five nations, because you say Guyana got six, and they outnumber you. And if you're a Chinese and you think the same, think and do the same thing as I said, you're the minority again. And if you are a Portuguese, because if I didn't say that, you would say I'm not talking about that, you're the minority. And if you're a Douglas, you're still the minority. And to be honest, when Africa was to be liberated, the black people stand up to support Africa, and you're right. You want your country where your ancestor came from to be liberated and be free. You don't want a white man to rule you. But yet for all, you get your freedom, but all of you run into a white man country. Y'all are like parasites, same as the East Indian of India. You do not want the white man, who's European by the way, but we use it according to your language, to rule you. You drove him out of India. Today, you take over England, you're living in France, you're coming to America. You're all over, not a parasite. Take the Chinese. They are out too, but they retaliate and they run away. And now that China is freeing up themselves, their people are going all over. What I am trying to say is clear. It's a beautiful world. We must learn to live in it together. No one must take advantage on each other. And we have to stop humiliate one another. And since you're in Guyana and you're fortunate to rule it being black or Indian, but yet support your mother country, India, you know when you arrive, and you, that's the Indian, and you, the black man, know what day you were free, but yet none of you going back home. The Portuguese ain't got a day that he claimed when he arrived, and he don't know when the day he will be free. Same goes to the Chinese. Well, the Douglas come out of all other races, so he's a Guyanese, because he don't hold on to India or China or Portugal. And the Amerindian, who's his country, he have no voice in his own country. It is very uneasy and unfair when other races rule a land and take advantage on the native. And I know a lot of you Indian people in Guyana, scholars, and the black people, the scholar, what is he talking about when America kill out the Indian and they're in the Indian country? Well, if you are in law and order and you said he who receives stolen property is guilty as the man who steal it, then the Guyana government and the other races who are running the country are guilty of the crime what the European have done. Take it away from the black man, which is the Amerindian. I think you almost gave away the Quran, the Ramayana, and the Bible. Because all of you are a pack of fucking hypocrites. I said it. Your God will meet with y'all in your own time. Y'all would never enjoy it. You might feel you're powerful because you could tell the army to go out and kill people, or the police, or criminals in prison. But you have nothing more to offer. And the people, being in a country illiterate, ignorant, and stupid, you allow them to manipulate you, to talk bullshit to you, and you follow them. But I want you to understand one thing clearly. These leaders, them and these people do not belong to you. They are politicians. They are criminal disguising as your God and your prophet. If they could do so much, why don't they heal the wound? If a country do not have law and order, where the policeman making a case on the street and taking bribe, The judges are taking bribes. Lawyers are bribing judges. And politicians are taking bribes in a society and a country. Is that a good country to live in? Tell me. I'm not pointing finger, but I will call name if you offend me. I am not CN Sharma on Channel 6 with a good show and a party called Justice for All, but become partial justice when some people get what they want and don't want people to speak their mind. The late Walter Rodney was killed because of his fundamental principle and his love for this great country called Guyana. Owini was murdered in South Romville because of his love for that country called Guyana. Dublin was killed in Mackenzie during Burnham period, by the way, for the love of Guyana. You East Indian and blacks must never forget it. Vincent Tika was killed, but you could consider him a Judas crossed the floor. Answer to me, what good you get out of it? So when that lady of the Jehovah Witness give me the book that talk about terrorism, why does it happen? When will it stop? The word terrorist sounds very drastic and very wicked. The most terrorists exist happens in legal department in third world country, where they elect to become presidents, commissioner of police, sergeant, and all of that. For God's sake, I call upon y'all, imagine what you're doing and think it over. Every man and woman deserve justice. If you are a black judge or a magistrate, because you were told to hate Indian or Chinese and Portuguese, don't deny them their justice and take away their pride and their freedom, because you will be making a criminal out of them and then a terrorist just born, as you call them. And if you are an Indian, don't do it to a black person, man or woman. Deny them their rights and humiliate them, embarrass them, and take away their freedom. You are making another terrorist, if that is the making you're talking about. And what wrong with a man who retaliates against his brother, his neighbors, for his rights, when the law cannot give it to him? Why government was elected? To shape a better future for the nation that elect them. Not to become the taskmaster, not to stand over them with a whip or a gun pointing to them. That is not right. Our ancestors from generation to generation was fighting against this kind of thing. And I call upon civilized society to join hands. I called again for the United States Embassy in Guyana and the Canadian and the British and others to deny Guyana politicians and judges and others who are in the government and opposition force visa for entering America until you can examine the judicial system and look into the affair of the good books and check it out. You can set them up. You could know. And every crime must be investigated. Every man that get killed or woman that get killed or raped, there's a victim. And there is a killer and a rapist out there. He must be found. And again, no politician must play hands in that. Because you have a wife, you have children, you have grandchildren. Let us unite and make a better country for the benefit of the generation to come. Let us not put an end to it. Let's work together and save humanity. So the Honorable David Granger, I want to congratulate you to releasing those innocent prisoners. And now I heard you're going to release 60 more. I want you to release 80% of them and pardon them and look into it and see more. And you can pull this country back. Examine your ministers them. Change the Supreme Court laws and judges. Look into it. We want justice. There are some great men and women in the court. They need an opportunity. I call upon you to do what is right. Thank you.